Well, you can hear the crowd already. It's the first finals game in this building since 2010. Tatum coming alive. Largest lead of the first half, an 18-point advantage.
Well, they came right at us, but I like where we are.
Can't you see? Don't you know what I am? I'm a man with a plan, and it's time you understand.
Puts it in, and it's their first lead since it was 2-0.
That's a great thing. They're going to go and run. This is how you respond. So don't put your head down. Just keep going.
Tatum drives inside, lays it in. Smart corner three. Bang! Boston Celtics take game 3. They're 2 wins away from a title.
And they did it with so much intensity, the opposite of what Draymond Green did in Game 3. Certainly a game to forget. 9 combined points, rebounds, and assists. It's his fewest in any finals game of his career. The 2020 finals in general has seen Green post 2 of his 5 worst finals games, and both have resulted in losses. So essentially, last night, statistically, his worst finals game of his career, and it appears Draymond agrees.
Tonight may have been one of the worst games of my career. You know, when I look back on it, I think I totally outsmarted myself. I'm going into the game like, all right, you know, I'm not going to say this, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to get a referees a chance to call a tech and blah, 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 blah. And I did the exact opposite of what I said I was going to do or what I needed to do. I did the exact opposite. I actually did what most people think I should do. And that just doesn't work for me. You know, that's not who I am. I've gotten there by simply being me and trusting in who I am, trusting in what I bring to the court, and ultimately kind of just blocking out the noise because there's always noise. And then I didn't do that.
We're joined now by Kendrick Perkins, fresh off of his Harvard graduation on First Take, and now here at the MIT Sailing Pavilion. So you're just going to hit all the big fancy Massachusetts schools, I see.
I mean, Elle, when I come back to Boston, I'm a celebrity.
They roll out the red carpet. They certainly do.
I'm a celebrity.
Listen, Draymond Green is a celebrity too, and there's so much has been made about his podcasting and what's happening on. What do you make of sort of the Draymond experience over the last few weeks?
You know what? It's different. It's new, but we're in 2022, right? I don't care about him doing the podcast, but I do care about him doing the podcast and delivering in great fashion for his teammates. Like, you can't poke the bear and then walk into Game 3 and not help your teammates fight the bear, right? And it's not about X's and O's. It's basically common sense. I said 4 weeks ago that Draymond Green, in order for the Warriors to win a title, he has to be aggressive offensively. He called me out. We went back and forth on Twitter or whatever the case may be. And then all of a sudden today, he says, oh, we're a better team if I'm aggressive offensively. That's what he has to do because the Celtics are not changing their game plan. They don't respect him. They don't respect his shooting. They're going to force him to take and make shots. And if he don't do that, then Steve Kerr is going to have to make a decision whether or not he should play Draymond Green the amount of minutes that he is playing them.
But at the very least, we can put that to bed, right? The podcasting is not why they're losing. No. There's so many people reminding you of Michael Jordan playing 36 holes between finals games and Dennis Rodman going and wrestling. Like, the idea he takes 35 minutes in front of a mic is not why they're down in this series. A big part of why the Celtics are up in this series, at least last night, was Jaylen Brown, who was a revelation, showed up, led the team in scoring. What do the Warriors need to do to adjust to him tomorrow night?
Well, it's going to be hard because once Jaylen Brown has it on his mind to be in attack mode, right? That aggression, going downhill, not settling for jump shots. I saw Jaylen Brown backdoor cutting. I saw Jaylen Brown actually rolling to the basket. I saw Jaylen Brown playing angry last night. And look, the thing about Jaylen Brown has been, how is he going to bounce back? We don't need any more bounce-back games from Jaylen Brown. We need follow-up games. And that's the thing with him, being consistent. But if he plays the way he did last night, this series will be over quick, and he will win Finals MVP.
Oh, wow. So you think right now it's Jaylen Brown as Finals MVP?
Yeah, he's been the best player on the Celtics by far.
Sure.
Yeah.
On the Celtics, right? You could see a world where Steph Curry maybe still gets the Finals MVP.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I love Steph, but we're not doing that.
We're not
They robbed LeBron one year, we're going to rob Steph.
Okay. Kendrick Perkins with the latest. Much more from out here in Boston. Richard Jefferson joining us next to talk about why the Celtics have been so good in the RJ.
Oh, I feel sorry for your loss.
Right, for whom? Because she's got to wear shades. We'll find out if the Celtics are feeling really good. No days off here on SportsCenter. The soap opera in the golf world is must-see TV. And we have the latest verbal punches thrown, Elle.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm not trying to be cute. The sun is right over my head. Speaking of throwing punches, certainly the Celtics threw one just last night. How significant a blow is Steph Curry's injury? And what do we expect to see in Game 4 after all the trends we've seen so far in this postseason? We've got full coverage of the NBA Finals from right here in Boston coming up.
I got to be honest, guys, I'm feeling a little bit like a third wheel here.
No, it's a tricycle.
It's all right. Yeah, that's a tricycle. It's all right.
It's a tricycle.
On a more serious note, we'll also have the latest on how the Browns are bracing for the latest Deshaun Watson news. But first, let's get to our headlines. And for that, we go to the basketball court. LeBron James has said he wants to own an NBA team. And on his talk show, The Shop, he said he wants it to be in Las Vegas. The man whom Forbes recently said was worth $1 billion says ownership will happen sooner rather than later. Peyton Manning also in the mix for ownership. Adam Schefter reporting that the group has agreed to buy the group that has agreed to buy the Broncos has reached out to the former All-Pro quarterback about an advisory role that could lead to an ownership stake. And the PGA Tour has suspended 17 golfers who are competing in the rival Live Series event in London today. Some of the 17, including former number 1 Dustin Johnson, already resigned from the tour. We'll have more in our SportsCenter report. Elle?
Thank you. The Celtics Game 3 NBA Finals win over the Warriors. Maybe a sign of things to come. That's because Boston's won its previous 5 NBA Finals series when winning Game 3 to take a 2-1 series lead. So what did we learn last night? Well, the Celtics still own the fourth quarter. We know that, right? They outscored the Dubs 23-11 to pull away in the fourth. Boston's points differential plus 40 in the fourth quarter of this series, the highest ever through the first 3 games of an NBA Finals. For its part, Golden State kept up its dominance of the third quarter. They got back into the game by outscoring the Celtics by 8 points in that quarter. You remember that 7-point possession, right? Their points differential of plus 43 in the third is the best in any quarter through 3 games of a final series. But no one has bounced back this postseason like the Celtics. They're 7-0 now following a loss in these playoffs. That ties the longest win streak immediately following a loss in a single postseason in NBA history. Here's Klay and Steph on how the Dubs need to adjust before tomorrow night.
I think it's just playing better, playing harder, playing as a unit. I don't think we need to make incredible adjustments. I just think we need to come out with that force, that Warriors brand of ball that has been so successful this past decade.
We've been here plenty of times before, and that experience comes with a sense of, composure and understanding how I can be effective. So every night you try to hold yourself to that standard, and hopefully that leads to wins.
We're joined now by our Warriors reporter, Kendra Andrews, who's got much more on Steph Curry. He can't be super effective, Kendra, if he's got a bum leg. We saw Al Horford roll up on his leg and then him limp afterwards. What's the latest on his injury right now?
Well, Steph was not walking with a limp today, which he was doing last night, and he said very confidently, I am going to play in Game 4. And Steph's actually drawing on his experience with his foot injury from March to help him guide himself through this one.
Because I went through what I went through at the end of the regular season and coming back, I know exactly what it is, what I got to deal with, and soreness / pain level and all that. So once I got checked out last night, I knew I wouldn't have to go get any extra tests just because we've been through this before. And there's a good understanding of what it is, same foot and all that. So there's, I guess, comfort knowing I've been through it before, but also you'd rather not have to deal with something like that at this point in the season.
Steph said that last night he got 10 hours of sleep and then had 2 dunks in the ice bucket, and then the rest of the day he used for treatment. And the Warriors as a team actually didn't practice today. Instead, they all used the day for rest and recovery, prepping for tomorrow night's game.
It's the quickest turnaround of the series, unfortunate, again, when you're talking about Steph Curry and coming off an injury that he already faced back in March that forced him to miss a month of the season. Kendra